Like we mentioned, we have heard from CMPD Chief Johnny Jennings after this video of an arrest in South Charlotte went viral. WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane just wrapping up that press conference. He joins us now live with the very latest. Richard.
Yeah, we just stepped out of the news conference where Chief Johnny Jennings was talking to the media and talking to the public through the media, basically saying that he understands when that viral video came out, the effect it could have on the community. But he also says he's proud of the officers that he has on the force. Now, he did say that there were some things that after looking at that video that they may be looking at as far as policy changes. This all after this viral video scene where several officers holding down a woman after she and a man were apparently smoking marijuana, according to police. They tried to arrest them, and that's when the struggle, Jennings says, ensued with that woman. They say there were blows struck that everyone sees in that video, but he did also say that the story that people are getting is not the full story, that much more of that will be understood with that body cam footage that is still a ways away from us seeing. Now, he also addressed, as one reporter asked, some bruises that were seen on that woman's face. That's not part of police compliance. So here's what he had to say about that.
We think that if those abrasion or bruising on her face occurred, it would have occurred during that struggle at some point. Unfortunately, that officer's body-worn camera was knocked off during the struggle, and you can just barely see it in the corner of that struggle as it continued above the body-worn camera. So that's going to be part of the investigation, hopefully through officer statements, but it is consistent with the side of her face.
And he went on to say that if that was part of the struggle, that would not be a part of them trying to get someone into compliance to arrest them. Of course, all of this that he says will be more understood by the public when that body-worn camera is released. How long that'll be? He said it could take some months. He said he's actually started the process of trying to get the courts to release that body-worn video. Whenever there's an investigation, that body-worn video that police officers have, that video cannot be released unless there is a court order. He is going about that process right now. Actually, he said he started that process yesterday. We'll have Jesse Pierre, who's been inside this meeting as well, with much more throughout the day on this story. And we'll have that information both here as well as online. We're at CNPD at headquarters. Richard Devane for WCNC Charlotte.
All right, Richard, thank you for that report. Let's turn now to your... Like we mentioned, we have heard from CMPD Chief Johnny Jennings after this tonight, a disturbing video.
involving CMPD. It's making the rounds on social media. This video shows an officer holding a woman to the ground and punching her, with several other officers assisting.
And several people within the Charlotte community, they are raising questions as to why things even escalated to this level. WCNC Charlotte's Miles Harris joins us live tonight. Miles, you heard from local activists today. What are they saying about seeing this video?
Well, there's a lot of mixed emotions, Colin and Vanessa. Some activists, they're hurt. Others are frustrated. But the biggest question that they want answered is whether or not an excessive use of force was used in this incident.
What did you do beforehand to try to de-escalate the situation before you would go and use this type of force?
Several Charlotte activists coming together outside the government center Tuesday to voice their concerns following a video that shows several officers on top of a woman, with one punching her. Miguel McCarthy with the What is Safe Coalition questioning what led up to the punches being thrown.
Because if it would be any one of these males that put their hands on a female in that capacity, the way that officer did, they will have assault with a female. Just because he has a badge does not warrant him to abuse that power.
According to the police report, officers were responding to a report of a suspicious person at a bus stop near the intersection of South Tryon Street and West Arrowwood Road in South Charlotte. CMPD says once on scene, they found the woman and a man smoking marijuana. According to a statement released by CMPD, the department says when officers approached the individuals, the woman punched an officer in the face. The statement also says an officer hit the woman's right thigh multiple times and told her multiple times to stop resisting. Now, community members are demanding justice.
We did not be on this input group and spend the time that we did, our free time, to try to make this situation and policing in this city better, to make everyone safe in this city, to keep going back in a circle, back to the same thing.
Colin and Vanessa, at 6 o'clock tonight, we hear more from local activists and why they're demanding for the release of the body camera footage from this incident as well. Reporting live in South Charlotte, I'm Miles Harris for WCNC Charlotte.
This tonight.
We're trying to get more information. Here's a video.
Now, why he kicking her? Why is he leaning that lady like that? Why is he doing that? No. No. Nobody backing up. Now you ground.
So sad. Put up a screenshot of this attack. According to WSCO-TV, police in Charlotte, North Carolina, alleged the woman seen being struck multiple times by a Charlotte Mecklenburg officer in this viral video was resisting arrest. Now, you have so many human beings on top of the body. It is hard for me to imagine that you need to take your fist and punch anybody to gain compliance. The incident occurred on the afternoon of Monday, November 13th, near a Bojangles, and the woman, later identified as Christina, is an employee of the fast food restaurant. The video taken by bystanders shows multiple cops surrounding the woman while she was on the ground, and one cop appears to strike her multiple times. Eyewitnesses on the scene posed the question, why is she being punched? They told the officers to get off her. Seconds later, she was escorted into the police vehicle. When officers approached Christina Pierre and Anthony Lee, who was smoking marijuana, they alleged that she hit one of the officers, per the outlet citing a police report. And when they attempted to take her into custody, she was not allowing officers to arrest her. The police said officers ordered her to stop resisting multiple times before the officer struck her 7 times with knee strike and 10 closed fist strikes. Okay. This was to the peroneal nerve in the thigh to try to gain compliance, according to the report. Put up the individuals on the, Lee is on the right, who was with her, was also arrested and reportedly charged with possession, marijuana, carrying a concealed weapon, and resisting, obstructing, and delay. Christina Pierre on the left has similar charges, including assault on a government official. Her mugshot shows bruises on her face. The video sparked outrage online, obviously, prompting the police chief, Johnny Jennings, to release a statement. So here's what old Johnny said. I never want to see an officer, much less one of my own, involved in a situation like this. Our officers are trained to engage and interact with people and manage situations to the best of their abilities based on the training they receive. When individuals physically assault officers and refuse to comply with police, and when they resist arrest, officers must physically engage with them to safely take them into custody. I didn't see anything safe about what happened to the person you're supposed to safely take into custody. Now, Chief, we all know what happened here. You have an individual who may have become adversarial to police interaction. Possibly some physicality took place, but you know, no cop has to punch another human being while that many officers are holding them down. That is called revenge. That is called retaliation. That is called illegal. Jennings said that he wants to release the body camera footage, but has to file a petition with the court before it could be made public per state law. Bojangles reportedly said it will cooperate with law enforcement on this case, and that Pierre and the man are still employees at the restaurant. They have not been fired by the restaurant. Once again, here we go. So they want us to ignore what we see. They want us to ignore what we see, abandon common sense. If these are not cops, I want you to take this out of the cop arena. Let's just say you got 4 or 5 people on top of one other individual. That individual is a woman. They're saying, well, we're trying to make sure we can safely apprehend this person for doing something wrong. That many human bodies on top of one woman, and all of a sudden a man comes with fists and knees while the person is on the ground. And every other human body that's covering her obstructs the view of anyone watching, so you cannot see anything. Do you believe the narrative would be the same? Would people say, well, this had to happen because of they were trying to make sure she was safe and they could safely apprehend the individual? Of course not. The narrative only gets confusing to some when blue uniforms are being worn. Outside of that, we all when blue uniforms are being worn. Outside of that, we all would say universally, that is not the way you treat a human being. All right. Yasmin, thoughts?
You know, what's crazy to me is every time I'm on your show, it seems like we have a story like this to cover. But otherwise, I feel like I don't hear about these stories enough. There's very little news coverage of these stories in mainstream media. I feel like there's little outrage on social media, at least among the accounts that I follow. It's absurd how all of this has become so normalized. It's almost become formulaic, right? The incident occurs, it gets a little attention, the chief releases some kind of statement, and then that's it. And this is just one story of so many, but that woman has been traumatized, right? She'll have to deal with that trauma, not to mention all of the physical injuries that I'm sure she sustained probably for the rest of her life.
Yeah, that's right. All right.